feel like you left me off at a cliffhanger last time, but I don't remember.
Oh, did I?
I don't remember. Well, just start. I'll respond.
Because the last time it was they stopped the harvest.
Yes. Oh, you're right. It wasn't a cliffhanger. I was like, there are more episodes, right?
Right.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was a nice button last time.
The first time you left me on a cliffhanger, and I was very upset.
Yes. But we went to episode 2, and now we get to go to episode 3. But welcome to Buffy-less.
Oh, yeah. Hey, intros. I'm Erin.
I'm Risha. And I get to tell Erin about season 1, episode 3, which is entitled The Witch.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. You open with Giles, the librarian. We love him.
My hero.
He is kind of pacing, and he says, you have responsibilities, and instead you enslave yourself to this cult. And he's talking to Buffy. You can tell he's talking about
did she join like the cheerleader team or something? Oh my God, did she join the cheerleader?
It goes to her, and she's got a short skirt and the cheerleader outfit.
Oh my gosh.
With pom-poms. And she says, you don't like the color?
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love that.
Yeah,
I feel like the only reason I can guess some of the things that are in Buffy-less, what I'm learning or have learned in 2.1 episodes is that I want to be like, oh, it has every cliche in the book. But honestly, I don't think it's that. I think it's just so many other shows are based off of it. Like, I think they were the OG, or at least more of the OG for a lot of these things. And then a lot of other shows like recycled the themes. So I think that's the only reason I can even remotely guess.
That's fair.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we find out Buffy's going out for cheerleading.
I mean, she's going to be so good at it.
Right?
Yeah.
You need a lot of strength for that.
Well, she just like launched herself up in the air and was like suspending between 2 buildings at one time. So amazing. Okay, so Giles is all upset. She's in the cult.
Yeah, he says, do you ignore everything I say as a rule? Because he's like, I forbid it. And she's like, what are you going to do?
Oh my gosh.
How are you going to stop me?
Right.
He's like, appeal to your common sense if such a creature exists.
Right. That doesn't work, Giles. You've tried that before.
Yeah, she's like, I want to have a life, something normal, something safe. Like, let me do it.
She is like 16. So, yeah. And
then it cuts to a creepy bubbling cauldron with a small Barbie-like doll that's like chained up next to it. And then it gets like ripped off. And then it cuts back to the school where Xander says things about the girls in the gym at tryouts. Like, they're in the gym and they're going to the tryouts, and Xander's talking about how much like strength they have and how stretchy.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, what was I saying?
Oh, Xander.
And then Willow responds to him and says, you were pretending that seeing scantily clad girls in revealing postures was a spiritual experience. And he said, who said I was pretending?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we get some of Xander. And then Xander does a thing. He hands a bracelet to Buffy.
Oh God, this just breaks my heart though, because I feel bad for Willow.
Okay. And she's like, oh, what's this? And Willow's like, what's that? And it's a bracelet that says yours always. And he's like, it came like that, I promise. But it's just for you, good luck for, yeah.
Oh boy.
And then tryouts start, and this girl that was almost a Lakers cheerleader, you're hearing talk about her in the background, she starts to try out, and then a girl walks over. Willow is like, oh, hi, Amy. So she walks over. We meet Amy.
Okay.
And she's going to try out for cheerleading too. She's got like a kind of a low blonde ponytail going on, and she kind of walks to the side and away, and Willow... No, she's with her. And Willow mentions, oh, you've lost weight. Like, you look really nice. You look good. And Amy starts talking to Buffy about cheerleading and how she's really into it, how she trains with her mother 6 hours a day.
Oh, boy.
And Buffy says, that much quality time with my mom would probably lead to some quality matricide. And then Amy responds and is like, oh, my mother's great. She's awesome. And they're watching the Lakers, like the almost Laker cheerleaders audition tryout. And suddenly she starts smoking.
Amy?
No, the girl that's trying out.
Oh, the almost Laker girl. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Okay.
And her hands catch on fire. Like she throws her pom-poms and fire like is shooting out of her hands. And then Buffy grabs fabric off of the wall and tackles her with it and stops the fire.
Oh, no.
And they're like, what the heck? And so the tryouts get canceled for the day. And it cuts to them in the library. And they're talking about spontaneous combustion and find out that it's not vampire related.
Okay.
Like, vampires don't do that. They
No.
can't do that. And Giles is like, well, it's not a vampire. It's something else. This is the thrill of living on the Hellmouth. And it's a cornucopia of fiends, devils, and ghosts to encounter.
Oh my God. It's like a Christmas present for him. I love it.
And they all kind of look at him sideways. And he's like, excuse me for looking at the glass half full.
Amazing.
And so Buffy, strikes out and is like, I'm going to go investigate this and we're going to figure this out. And Willow's right behind her. Do. And Buffy turns around and is kind of like, what are you doing? And
Right.
Willow's like, well, we're not the Slayer, but we're kind of like the Slayerettes.
She's so cute.
She's sweet.
She just wants to be involved.
And then it goes to Buffy at home, and she's talking to her mom. And you can see, obviously, her mom is kind of disengaged, checked out. She's
Sure.
trying to open boxes for a gallery show that she's in charge of. And is talking to her, and Buffy's asking her questions and talking to her about what she was doing that day and how she was trying out for something. And her mom's just kind of giving her just like...
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great, sweetie. Mm-hmm.
Or just like pre-made responses, kind of.
Yep.
Like poster answers to things.
Sure.
And Buffy's like, what was I trying out for again, Mom? And she's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm stressed. Like that whole thing.
Yep.
When Buffy says cheerleading, her mom says, oh, good. Cheerleading will keep you out of trouble. Buffy says, I'm not in trouble. Her mom's immediate response, no, not yet.
Oh, wow. Mom's being kind of a bitch.
A little bit. And then you go back to tryouts again the next day. And it's a group tryout this time. And Amy falls into Cordelia. Who, if we remember Cordelia. By that response, I think we do remember Cordelia.
I do indeed recall the judging people on their fashion sense and pop culture references.
Yes, that is the one. So Amy falls into Cordelia, knocks her down, and Cordelia jumps up and says, that wasn't me. You saw that, right? You saw that, right?
Wow. A little defensive.
And then Amy, walks off really upset, and Buffy's trying to console her, and Amy's like, I can't get my body to move like hers. And she's talking about her mom.
Okay.
And she's not as good at cheerleading as her mom used to be. So she's looking at a trophy case and seeing her mom's trophy in there.
Oh, boy, honey.
Mm-hmm. And then she walks off, and Willow comes up and starts talking to Buffy. And Willow says that Amy's mom is kind of like mommy dearest.
Gotcha.
Really. And they even make like a Nazi reference too.
Oh,
wow. And then it cuts to another part where Cordelia threatens Amy.
God, this woman just wants to be a bitch constantly.
Yeah. She's like, if you cost me my spot on the team, you're gonna regret it and stuff like that.
Fuck off.
And then it cuts again to Xander with Willow. And Xander asks Willow if Buffy was wearing the bracelet. He's like, was she wearing the bracelet? It's like we're going out, right?
Why? I don't know why Xander pisses me off so bad.
He does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I think it's supposed to be like cute and innocent, but it just makes me like irrationally angry.
I will say for me, he grows on you.
Okay. And that's why I was wondering. So if he's going to be consistent, he has to. Like, and I get it. He's 16. He has no idea how to behave. And like, he's not being mean or like, I mean, he's being a little inappropriate, but he's not being like creepy inappropriate.
Right.
So it's like, I really don't have any reason to be like just mad at him. But it's like, just stop. Like, get to know her. Maybe hang out with her. Like, just be a friend. Oh.
there is character development with Xander, I will say.
Okay, that's good.
Just so that you don't just write him off as why is he here. Willow responds to Xander being like, it's like we're going out, right? And she says, except without the hugging or kissing or her knowing about it.
Yep, that's my girl.
And then he's like, I should ask her out, right?
Yeah, if you want to go out with the girl, that is kind of a step.
Right. Willow says, won't know till you ask.
Voice of law. Why doesn't he want Willow? Like, go out with Willow.
Well, he does say, this is why I like you. You're like you're like a guy. You're like a guy who knows about girl things.
Okay.
So Willow's response was, oh, good. I'm a guy.
Yep, because she's dying inside. Yep. I feel you, girlfriend.
They go up to the list to see who got onto the cheerleader team here, the squad, and find out that both Amy and Buffy are alternates.
Oh.
Yeah. So if somebody else is off.
How did Buffy not get put directly on the team? Is this nepotism, or does she just kind of like suck at being coordinated?
I think it has to do with like the coordination a little bit. Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's not
she's
just
coordinated, but there's more to it,
There's
I guess.
a difference with like dancing and cheer, though. Yeah. Okay. And she hasn't done it before, so like technique. Okay.
She did it at her old school.
Okay. I just want to know if it's strictly people being shitty like Cordelia.
I think a part of it is like, so she went to the auditions and was talking to Amy and the other, like, you see the other girl up there, and they're like, wait, you have coaches? Like, you've been training for this? So, like, she didn't have, like, the training that a lot of the other
So she did
kids
genuinely get beat out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure this wasn't, like, a weird bias thing. Okay.
I have a feeling that Sunnydale is a, like, I guess, richer community than the one she was at before.
Yeah, these
that
kids
have a lot more of the...
Yeah, they're doing, like, club cheer since they were, like, 6.
Right.
Okay.
Like, they have a lot more of the determined what you're going to be doing as an early age, like you just said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. But Amy.
I know. Amy was so upset. And she like kind of storms off and is like, this would never have happened to my mother. And
oh boy.
Yeah. And then we cut to the cauldron again.
Oh, yes.
And we see a spell happening.
What color is it bubbling?
It's kind of a more of a mist.
Okay.
Kind of.
I needed to know because I was picturing like the cartoon green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm if I'm remembering correctly, it's more of like a misty kind of
I like that.
And you see one of these Barbie doll looking things and there's cloth being wrapped around her head and her neck. And you hear a voice talking about how they are sacrificing Cordelia to and feed on her. And then it cuts to Cordelia the next day, and you're seeing her amble about in the school.
Oh, no.
Very, very just glazed eyes, confused expression, blank confused expression. And she goes to her driver's ed.
Uh-oh.
And Buffy sees her, as Xander tries to ask her out, Buffy sees Cordelia and is like, here, hold my books. I need to, she's...
Yeah.
So Xander's like, I can never get a break. But she is like, there's something off over there. So she starts following Cordelia to her driver's ed. Cordelia gets in, crashes the driver's ed car through, like, the gate onto the regular street.
Oh, no.
Gets out and is kind of holding her head and, like, her eyes, like, as if she's got a migraine almost. And then Buffy saves her from getting hit by a van. And then Cordelia is like, I can't see. Oh, what's happening? I can't. And her eyes are completely white.
Duh. Uh-huh. Nope. Hate that.
Uh-huh. Which is actually a reoccurring like dream I have that I go blind.
God.
Side note. But
okay, did not know that about you.
Yeah.
You have some fucked up recurring dreams.
I do. But then it goes to Giles, and Giles is like, it's witchcraft. This is what happens. Like a witch, just that's one of the most common things a witch will do to her enemies is blind your enemy. It's a witch,
I mean, I guess that's fair logic. Yeah. But Jesus.
And they're talking back and forth, and they say, it's got to be Amy.
I think it's Amy's mom.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's my theory.
And so they talk about it, and he's like, why would she be doing this?
She wants her cheer spot.
That's what they tell him. And he's like,
get with it, Giles.
She's casting horrible and disfiguring spells so that she can become a cheerleader.
Yeah. Yes. Have you never met teenage, early 20 girls in competitive sports. Yes.
Buffy was like, I think you're underestimating the amount of pressure a parent can lay on you if you're not a picture-perfect carbon copy. They tend to wig.
Ugh.
That's what she says. Which I feel like there's some truth and some, variation too.
We've all seen those like parents though who make their like live vicariously through their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like we've all seen that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They decide to do a test to make sure that she's a witch instead of just like going after her and being like, you're a witch,
Yeah.
That they're going to do a test to confirm. And
this ain't like a Scantron.
No. It's in science lab. They have to do it because Giles names a whole bunch of things and Willow's like, well, that's just this ion paired with this, blah, blah. She's like, that's just that. We can do that in science lab.
All right.
And so they do it, and Buffy gets some of her hair out of her backpack, some of Amy's hair, and they mix it all together. And what happens is if you spill it on her skin, if it turns blue, she's done a spell within the last 24 hours.
Oh.
And they do it, and it's positive.
Okay. Oh boy.
But Amy looked freaked out when right next to her, one of the other cheerleaders, her mouth gets like sealed up, like entirely skin covered over her mouth, and is like, screaming through her closed mouth. Amy looked freaked out.
It's like, that ain't her. That's not her. There's someone else.
So Buffy's like, maybe she doesn't know what she's doing.
Oh.
Maybe she's doing it and she doesn't know.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. And then we see Amy go home.
Okay.
And
to her mom, who has a cauldron.
Mm-hmm. But she walks in, pretty much throws her backpack on the floor, and is like, where are you? And Amy is the dominant one in whatever this relationship is.
Oh. Twist.
Uh-huh. And is like, what, have you been sitting eating brownies all day?
Whoa.
Uh-huh. And then she's annoyed by Buffy and her little friends, and she like drops Buffy's new bracelet from Xander in her hand, and it's like, I'll be upstairs.
Oh my gosh, it was Amy. Here I was like, no, she's too nice.
And then we see Buffy wake up. She accidentally breaks her alarm clock. But she goes down.
Relatable.
She goes down the stairs and she's singing Macho, Macho Man. I want to be a macho, macho man. She's like singing this, bouncing up and down.
Sure.
She's having a good morning. And she's like, juice. Ooh. And she takes it and drinks it. Ooh, more juice. And she takes it and drinks it. And she's like, blah, 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 with her mom. Just
yeah.
She's just talking, energized. She's going. She's having a good time. And her mom's trying to almost apologize for not being checked in the day before.
Sure.
And she mentions being a vampire slayer to her mom, and her mom's like, wait, what? And she said, it's a long story, and then continues on to something else, and her mom's just like, she's having a weird day.
Yeah.
And so they go to practice for cheerleading, and Buffy's just like, turn up the music, and she's like going at it, having a great time. And Willow and Xander go in, and they're like, she's not okay.
Right.
And Buffy ends up doing like a spin with one of the girls. You know how like you help them do the cartwheel
the
kind of thing?
legs are where your head is,
Yes.
and then you flip onto them, and then your legs are in the air. And yep.
Exactly. But she like throws the girl all the way across the room into the wall.
Oopsies.
And so Willow and Xander get her out, and she's acting like she's drunk. Like she's kind of slurring. She's like going back and forth. And she's like, I love Xander. You're my Xander-shaped friend. And do you know why I love you? And Willow's like, we got to get... And Xander's like, no, let her talk. And she says, because Xander is totally and completely like one of the girls. Yes!
Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't love what's happening to her, but I love that happened. That's funny.
And then after that, she just completely crashes and is like, I don't feel good.
I bet.
And then Giles finds her too. They like bring her to Giles, and he's like, yeah, hospital's not going to help her. This is a bloodstone vengeance spell.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so he drives Buffy to Amy's house because they're like, where is her setup? Where is this? Their mom is what they are saying. They still think it's the mom.
Right.
And they get in. He like kind of pushes past the mom who opens the door and put her on the couch and she keeps arguing like, I'm not supposed to let you in here and this isn't okay. Like, and Giles says, this girl is very sick. Now you will shut up and you will listen to me. Your daughter has access to some very powerful magic. Somehow your obsession with cheerleading. And then she cuts him off and says she doesn't care about cheerleading.
Oh, no.
And Buffy's looking around. She's seeing brownies on the table. And she's listening to the words that Amy's mom is saying. And then she looks at her and she says, Amy? Amy's mom switched bodies with Amy.
Oh my God.
Huh?
Oh no. Oh. Holy shit.
I know, right?
Oh, I did not see that coming.
No, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little switch for you there.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then so Giles leaves Buffy on the couch and is like, this is all reversible. We can fix this.
That's good.
Take me to where she does her spells. And so they go up to the attic and they see, the dolls hanging in the chains and the cauldron and like this tome that they open up. He's like, yep, we got to get her book, collect her dolls. Let's go back to the school. And Giles carries Buffy into the school and lays her on a lab table. And this is really sweet. He puts his jacket like under her head and is like, just hang on.
Oh,
yeah. I love
sweet
Giles.
man.
And as he's doing this reversal spell, so Amy's mom's body, so Amy's mom's body comes with them and is helping with the reversal spell in the lab. And Amy is in the gym at a game doing cheerleading.
So Amy's mom.
Right, Amy's mom and Amy's body.
Okay.
Is in the gym doing cheerleading.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Amy in Amy's mom's body is in the lab with them doing the reversal spell. And as the spell is happening, they're both getting flashes of where each other are because they're about to be reversed.
Mm-hmm.
And so Amy falls off, Amy's body, Amy's mom in Amy's body, falls off of the pyramid.
Oh, no.
And they're like, what's your deal? And she just stares at them. And they're all like, oh. They like back away. And she's like, yeah, the crazy eyes at him. And she like backs up and runs towards the lab.
Okay.
And Willow distracts her, is like talking to her, like, I can help you. And and
good girl.
Xander's sneaking up behind her. And then the Amy, quote unquote, Amy's body, Amy's mom, turns around and Vader chokes Xander.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then punches Willow.
Gosh, she is seriously crazy.
And then she gets one of those axe, like from the the emergency.
Yeah.
And she like opens the door with that, breaks through the door. And just as she's like holding the axe above Buffy about to get her, the reversal happens.
Holy crap.
And so Amy's back in her body and Amy's mom is back in her body. So then Amy's mom gets up and is like Vader's the axe back to her in her own body now and is verbally abusing her daughter again. Just like, you're wasting your body and your youth and blah, blah, blah.
Good Lord.
And then Buffy bops up behind her and says, guess what? I feel better.
Thank God.
Like is fighting her now. And like knocks her down. And Amy's mom is like, that body was mine.
Oh my gosh.
Buffy says, oh, grow up.
Yes.
And then they're kind of going back and forth a little bit. And the mom then says, I shall look upon my enemy. I shall look upon her, and the dark place will have her soul. And you see her spell is coming around. Her eyes are getting black. And she's looking at Buffy. And so Buffy kicks down like the mirror that was above the lab. And she spelled herself into the dark place.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Right? And then Buffy helps Giles up because he got knocked over in the kerfuffle. And he's like, well, that was interesting.
How did Giles know how to do all that?
He's a watcher.
He's a badass.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Then it cuts back to the end. You know, Buffy's back in her room, like kind of going to sleep, winding down for the night. And her mother walks in and just says, I don't get it. I just have to accept I don't understand you. Because they also did have a little bit of a kerfuffle about her mom saying, well, why don't you go out for a yearbook? Because that's what I did. You should do that. And Buffy was like, I'm not you. I don't want to do that. I don't think that's cool, Mom. And she's like, well, I had a good time. You need to get what you think is cool gets you into trouble and blah, blah, blah. And so there was like that. And she left, and her mom did have a moment where she was like, ooh, great parenting there.
Uh-huh.
And so she comes back in, and she's just like, I just have to accept that I don't understand. I don't understand what a 16-year-old is thinking right now.
Yep, and that's okay.
I think there's just a biological imperative that you won't. Yeah.
Yes.
And Buffy asks her, would you want to be 16 again?
No.
Her mom says, not even if it would help me understand you better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the self-reflection.
Right.
Yep. Big
Coming
fan of
back
that. Yep.
And then the very end of the entire episode here, we come back to seeing Buffy and Amy talking kind of in front of the trophy case again. And Amy walks off. She's talking about how her dad's come back because he had run off with like her mom. Amy had said, but it was actually Amy's mom who said it. She ran off with the trailer trash. But her dad's back and trying to be with her and hanging out with her and being a dad to her again. And she's walking off with Buffy, and she's like, I think I might get fat. I'm thinking about doing that. She's like, here it's in, you know?
Yeah.
They're talking about it. And then they wonder where her mom went. They're talking about that. I wonder where she went. Well, she said a dark place, and I'd never get back from there again. And you see, it zooms in on the statue. And the eyes of the statue move back and forth.
Oh, creepy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I hate that.
But that was episode 3.
Oh, I love it. Episode 3 is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That was a fun one.
The twists, the
I
turns.
know. The gasp. You gasped.
I did not.
I love that.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent episode, Risha.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Hope it wasn't a suckfest.
Obscurantism and obfuscation.
Orally observed, gentle listener.
Gentle listener.
Gentle listener.
Gentle listener.
Obviated objects of oblivion.
Obambulating about.
Offered unto you.
Offered unto you.
Offered unto you.
In the Tapestry Radio Network.
TapestryRadio.org.
From our fancy to yours.